All right, hello YouTube. I'm going to do a graphics tutorial in today's video. So I've done a few of these kind of graphics that actually people have been asking me privately, sending me a message asking how I did these kind of graphics. Like for example this, and you got this as well. You've got some branding, and you've got the products that we're promoting. And this kind of thing, So how did I make these graphics? Well, I'm gonna show you. All right, and you could actually use, I would say, 100%. You could use free tools. I don't believe I've used anything that's paid. The actual ad part of this was done in Canva, but I don't think I used any pro version for Canva to make this. I think you could use the free version of Canva to because you get thousands of templates, and then in order to create this, there are a few ways you could do this. The way I did it was I actually used ChatGPT, but you could use any AI image generator such as Bing. You could go to bing.com. So just go into your browser, bing.com, and you go to images. And then you go to create, and then you could put in a prompt there, okay? But I didn't use this particular one. We could try it here. Hold on, let me just write a prompt. Okay, so I've created a little prompt. Unfortunately, the thing with Bing is that you've got a limit on the amount of text you can put in there, but I basically said create a digital marketing social media advert for a health and wellness ad in a modern 3D isometric style with plain white supplement bottles and plain white protein powder bottles. I would have, if I had more room, I would have, or I had more time, I would have described it differently with, telling it to add in some other things like money, or because we're running an income opportunity thing here, but you get the point. So let's see. So this is a free image generator. So let's see what it creates for us. It doesn't always create what you want the first time, but you never know. This is just to give you an example. I didn't actually use this particular image generator because I used the upgraded version of ChatGPT. But yeah, we've got some things to work with here. You could just create another, because I think every day you get about 15 credits, and I've just used one or two. I don't know how many I've used, but you could regenerate if you don't like whatever it is. So you just pick which one you like, and go with whatever works for you. But I might just try and see if I can regenerate again. But yeah, not bad. So you get the idea. So it only uses one credit at a time. It gives you 4 variants. I think this is not bad. I could work with this, I reckon. Let's just have a quick look. But yeah, you decide. But yeah, somehow, I don't know why, I think I somehow like this. But you could work with that, and then just add whatever it is you want on there. I'm going to show you how to add that. But because it's an isometric style, meaning it's got the kind of like it's not really 3D. Well, it's 3D, but it's what they call 2.5D. I think they call it that. But it has these it has a typical viewpoint, perspective view, but it looks kind of modern and cool. But to be honest with you, this was actually the one I really went with the other day. So I basically turned this, if you look at that, and I turned that into hold on a minute. I turned that into this. So as you can see, if I just compare those, so I basically changed the screen there, and I changed a few things on the supplement bottles. I completely switched that out with the coffee, and I also put the E3 in there. So there are a few, obviously there's a few changes I made, but I'm going to just sort of work with this. I'm going to copy that out. I'm going to put it into Photop. So you go to photop.com, and with a new canvas, you can just click paste straight into the canvas, and then I'm just going to go over a few things. But if you go to Live Good, in our case, we're working with Live Good here because this is the primary business that I'm working with. So I'm going to get the product I want to work with, copy the image, go back to Photop, and as you can see, the image is not at the right perspective, it's not the right view, so we're going to change that. So I'm going to just use the tool, the sort of the rectangular crop tool, and I'm just going to cut out, making sure that I'm selecting this layer, but I'm going to cut out the label, okay, and then I'm going to do Command J, and it allows me to remove that part of it, so I can just move that down, and now I've got this label as a separate layer. And then I'm going to make sure that I'm going to overlay it here, more or less. And then I go to Edit, I go to Free Transform, I go to Warp, and then I go to Style, and then I go right down to the bottom, I go to Cylinder. Okay, and I'm just going to start with this side here. Make sure that it's roughly the right start. Yeah, let's get that up there. It's quite nice we got a line to work with here, but not, in any case you should be able to make it kind of reasonably the way you want it. Okay, so that's basically done, but you could do some finishing touches, like put the Command key down and then just sort of really make sure that it's lined up with the edges of the actual bottle itself. Now there's one issue here, that you've got the dumbbells that are sort of in front, but now the label is kind of like mixed up with it, so it doesn't work. But we can just test a few things out, like multiply, see how that works, and that doesn't do a bad job. But there are other things you can do. I mean, that kind of like blends it in with the pot itself. It already looks very good. Now, so we can select that layer, and then what I might do is I might just, I'm double clicking the layer, and then I'm going to just take the opacity down just for the moment, because I want to work and try and get this dumbbell. So you can go to the crop tool, and then you can use the polygon lasso, because you can just work with edges. So you just look for the edge. You might want to zoom in a bit. So you kind of look for the edge, and then just follow the edges. And then I think I can just get away with that, and then you can just delete. And then there's a little bit more down here, so I might just start down here, and then just follow the edges. And then delete that. And then just take that back up. And now it looks like the label is actually behind the dumbbell. So that actually looks quite good. Now, you could probably, actually I won't, actually now that I've still got this layer here, I might just grab this layer and put it right to the top, and then just do the same thing if you want. Command J, and now that we've got another layer, hold on a minute, where is that? Okay, move that back down again. Oh, what have I done? Okay, so now we've got this. So select the layer. Let's do this. Let's do this one. So you can zoom in, get it to the roughly the right sort of width as much as possible, and then check. Go to Edit, Free Transform, Warp, and then you can go to Cylinder, and then again you're just doing the same as you did last time. Move it up like that. You're just working with the points here, okay? And then just going to move that down. I think that's perfect actually. That's good. And then just select that, and then just tidy up the edges using Command. And you can, the command, holding the command down at the same time is kind of like freeform, and it just kind of like you can just sort of make sure it's really perfectly fitting with the edges. And then again you can just do the kind of like multiply, and then it sort of blends it with the pot itself. And if you want, you could just sort of duplicate that layer. So you've now got two layers there, and you could just sort of plonk that right up there, probably get away with just not having to do it all over again, if you see what I mean. And then this pot seems to be slightly longer, so if I just hold the shift down, I can move that layer up a bit. It's up to you. And then use the command just to sort of kind of make sure it's attached to the pot properly. And then what the AI generating tool has created two supplement bottles as well. So you could go back to Live Good and just put in I don't know, like grab this, and then put that in there like that. And then I'm just going to move that right up to the top. And then you do the same. Grab the label, Command J. Take that out, move that down. You've got left with the just the label itself, and then just shrink it down. Okay, and then I'm going to go to Free Transform, Warp, Style, and then Cylinder. Just going to make sure that and then go to multiply. That's not too bad. It looks a bit stretched, and then I'm just going to duplicate that and just attach it to the other bottle. So that you got kind of like a Live Good thing going on here. And then what you can do is you can I don't know, like maybe just, I don't know, grab a Oops. So I'm going to take a screenshot. And I've copied the screenshot to clipboard. I'm just going to paste it in here. If I had more time, I would just spend more time on it. And but you know, obviously, even that, since it's not good. And then for this, I just hold the command down, and I can just sort of freeform and give it a better perspective, and just sort of attach it to the the tablet. If you need to zoom in. So, I mean, you get the idea. I mean, obviously you can change anything and put anything else in there or whatever, but yeah, there's so much you could do. I mean, you could kind of remove that if you wanted to and put in some text. You know, it's up to you. You know, I mean, that just gives you an idea. Another thing I wanted to share with you, you know, let's say, for example, you wanted just to add a completely brand new kind of, I don't know, graphic. Such as, let's say, I want to add this, for example. Okay, and there's no sort of there's no kind of like thing that we can use to, like we've been doing with the labels here. But so what I want to do is I want to just create a brand new kind of pot, if you like, but I want to make it kind of isometric. So this is how you do that. But obviously this is not isometric. But what you can do is you can still do the freeform of the whole pot. You don't have to take the label out. So you can do the freeform. You can go to warp, and you can still do cylinder, and then make it at the right kind of shape and size, roughly. Okay, and then just make it kind of isometric, you know, in the style that it's supposed to. Hold on a minute, I haven't finished it with it yet. I mean, I think that's pretty good. But anyway, you get the idea. You have complete control. Okay, so far that's okay. Now what the weird thing is that it hasn't got that lid. So what you do is you can actually go to here where my mouse is, and you can use this little tool here, and then you can basically kind of create a lid. Currently this is just like an overlay, but what you need to do is you need to go to the layers down here, and then right click, and then you need to rasterize. So that now kind of turns it into an image, a separate layer, and then you can sort of move around and manipulate it, sort of thing. So I'm going to just use the shift, hold the shift down, and just sort of stretch it and maybe make it at the right kind of angle. So already that's not looking too bad, but you know, another thing you can do is you can double click on the layer, and then, I mean, what you can either change just the color itself. It's up to you how you want to change it, but you know, or either that, or you can use the gradient if you want. So with the gradient you can so if I just take that out and use the gradient instead, and double click the gradient, you can change certain parts of the color just to match the way the lid is. So that's already looking too bad. Another thing you can do is, hold on a minute, click OK. So it's now currently linear, but if you change it to, for example, radar, and then you just change that a little, change the angle slightly. You can also change the opacity a little bit just to make it right, and then click OK. So now you've basically pulled in the bottle. Okay. You could also so just select. Hold on a minute. Where's the lid? I'm just going to move the lid up right to the top. So we got the bottle and the lid together, and then I'm going to use the shift key and select both layers, and then I'm going to just merge the layers. So now we've got one layer, and then you can just sort of resize it and do whatever you want with it. So that bottle has been brought in, and it's the right perspective for the isometric environment. And it looks pretty good. You know, it doesn't look too bad at all. I mean, the thing with an isometric environment is it's not so strict in terms of the laws of kind of reality, you know. So, you know, you're just giving off an effect. So you don't need to make it kind of totally realistic. And that's the beauty of isometric kind of style. It's kind of modern, but it's not perfect. And it doesn't need to be perfect. So it's giving off the effect more than anything. So I could continue doing some stuff with this and make it an ad, and actually I think this is quite a good graphic already. So anyway, that gives you some idea on how to play around with an isometric environment, or an ad, create an ad, and then you can put it into Canva, for example. Look for a template, an ad or something, do a search on Canva such as isometric ad, and you could replace the isometric graphic itself and then put it in there and then change the text or whatever. I mean, that's pretty much what I did for this one here. I created the graphic as you saw me creating the graphic here in this particular version, but with this I just found an ad like this on Canva with the text here and the design, and then I added in the graphic here, so it becomes quite a nice ad. And then you just put the logo there, you put a little button there, some text here and some text here or whatever, and then that becomes quite a cool ad. So anyway, hope this was useful, but if you're interested in doing this kind of stuff, you're gonna excel. You're gonna do well. If this is boring and time consuming and tedious, it's obviously not for you. All right. I enjoy this. I like graphics. I like graphic creation. It's fun. It's interesting, but don't do it to waste time. Do it with a purpose. Sometimes if you get too involved and bogged down, you can waste a lot of time. But I can basically knock out graphics quite quickly, and that's what gets me lots of leads, and it generates quite a lot of attention. So there's a lot of potential here, and it's quite fun to do. There's still a lot that I could personally learn, but I'm just sharing with you guys on my channel here what you can do, even if you're not particularly a designer or a graphics designer, or if you haven't been gone into any formal education of how to do graphics and stuff like me. I'm just completely self-taught, but I enjoy doing it. It's fun. I'm not saying that I'm an expert, and there's probably some people who frown upon the way I do stuff, and maybe there are easier ways of doing stuff. I don't know, but this is what I've come across, and it seems to work, and people seem to like what I post. So I'm just happy to share. All right, so if you like what I put out here on my YouTube channel, please guys, give me a like. It really helps the channel. Give comment by all means, and you know, subscribe. Okay, and if this training was useful, please share the video. All right, so that other people can benefit. That helps the channel. I'm not going to, you know, put any links on this particular video that will sort of benefit me in any way. I'm just doing a tutorial. The only links that you'll see will be to obviously Photopea, so that you can use Photopea. I'll put a link to Canva as well, but they're not affiliate links. So I'm not making any money out of this. You know, I'm just happy to put up good content, give out value on my YouTube channel. So please support the channel. It really helps. But anyway, thanks guys, and hope to see you in the next training. Bye for now.